Hey guys, Jake here and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing you guys the 3 main techniques on how to get on silo on the nuke. Since most of them require you to strafe, I've also added in one which does not require you to be able to strafe. So I've ranged them from most consistent to least consistent in that order, not as easy, but I'm ending with the much hardest one, as you can see in the background. But with that said, let's get started and get straight into the tutorial. So let's get started with the tutorial on the first one. In the bottom right corner you can see NoBoard, a program I'm going to be using to show you guys how to do this. If you want a tutorial on how to use it to yourself, comment down below and let's get started. Sometimes I'm not going to press this button, I'm just going to press scroll wheel and you're not going to see it at the bottom. But then again, that's just for me so I can time most of these jumps. But you shouldn't mind it too much, I'll probably notice when I'm jumping. So let's get started. So you need strafing for this first one, and I've explained it countless of times, but I'll do it one more time. There's pre-strafing and there's actual strafing. If you can see the top left corner, I run at 250 with my knife out, and if I start pre-strafing, it's going to stay at 250. It's going to drop for a second, and it's going to go to 250 for the entire time. So it's not really that useful. But then again, you need to get 250 speed right here looking this way. If I just do it like this, as you can see it's just reaches it there, so it's a little bit tricky. So what I like to do is I'd like to run and strafe like so. Even though it's not gonna improve my speed, it's gonna let me get 250 right there consistently and more fast than if I have to go here, line up some kind of jump and then run. So after that you just want to go to the pre-strafe and jump like that. Almost even made it there if I were a little bit more to the left. But there you want to do a couple of strafes. If I just do it without strafes, you can see I barely make it, kind of not make it actually. But then again, if you look at the top left corner, 250, 260, sometimes even 270, 265 this time, which allows me to get those tiny little bit more units further to get on that rampy area there. One more thing, if you slide off, you actually want to jump a second time. As soon as you land, you want to jump as soon as you can, because other times you might fall off. So let me try to show you. As you can see, I slide off right there. Now to strafe, is very simple actually. If you practice it a lot, you run, you jump, and you press right, and you move your mouse to the right. It might seem like a lot of things, but basically you strafe once to the right, and you can strafe to the left like so, which is going to improve your speed. You don't want to press D before you're actually in the air, and you want to release W as soon as you're in the air. So basically like this, jump and press D. And as soon as I press D, I want to also move my mouse to the right like so. And I'm doing a single strafe to the right. I can also do this to the left while using A. Now in the mid-air you can actually switch between those two and you can actually just strafe. So basically D, A, or A, D, like so. So that's what I want to do. So I want to run up here, pre-strafe to the right and do it. And as soon as you land on here, you want to jump a second time. You're on here, very simple, and you can get on with your lives. So the second technique is the one where you don't need to have any strafing skills. So well, it's very simple. As you can see, I have 2 bullet holes here, and there's a line in between. So all you need to do is you need to come up here and basically just sit right on top of this line and align yourself with the line and press yourself against the wall so you can get that 250 speed I've talked about before. And to get the 250 speed and to get the least amount of distance between you and the kind of edged area here, the curved area, you want to jump at the last possible moment. And that's the tricky part. That's why it's in second place on consistency. It requires lots of practice before you can actually do this jump. As you can see here, you can go quite over the edge before we actually fall down. And one way to see, because if you're failing it quite a lot of times and you don't know why, one way to see is if to notice if you sometimes fall off. But what I mean by that is if I run here and I jump, I make it like that. But if I run off here and I jump, too late, you can see I fall down. So it's just around the moment. I'm perfectly there. Sometimes I jump, sometimes I fall down. That's when you know that you're actually getting on the last possible moment. So if that's not happening, just practice a little bit by just running off and just feeling how far it is. Just line up quickly like that and just let yourself fall off. If you've done that a couple of times, you're just gonna go sit here, align with the stripe right there, and you want to look at this area here. It's indicated by this little kind of pixel right here, which I'm circling around, this brown dot, and you can actually go a little bit up to the right to this pipe here, like so. This area, this is where you want to be aiming, and all you got to do now is run and jump. As you can see, I almost wasn't there, but one more thing to get up is basically just pull up your legs by crouching, and then you're going to land on there, and you're probably going to slide off. So one thing you need to do to actually, because just jumping once is not going to help, you need to press A, so you're actually slamming yourself against it. So if you're here, you're actually pressing yourself against this. You can see here I'm pressing myself against it by pressing A, and I move my mouse to the left, so I'm coming here, press A, moves to the left, and I want to crouch as well. So basically I'm going to run and jump, press A, and look to the left. So you could consider this strafing, but it's basically just so you're pressing yourself against it. Sometimes it will work even without doing it, but it's just for an extra security measure. So you're going to go up here. I'm going to apologize already because I'm going to fail a couple of times here probably. But there we go. So see, I jumped too early. Can you see? You should if you jump enough, you should be able to see yourself sliding over there. So there we go again. Make sure we're aligned. There we go. As you can see there, I made it. Didn't even have to do the second jump to get on here. Wasn't there. Very simple. And that's how you do it. And now you can just basically go on top of here. It's a little bit tricky, but even if you get consistent at it, you can even just go up like this, go up here, and just do it without strafing, and combine it with this first technique. But I still think that is a little bit. It's just quite hard to do, but you can practice that if you don't want to learn to strafe. So for the third technique, it's the fastest way, but it's super inconsistent. And it's just basically super hard to do. So if you're not good at strafing, or you couldn't strafe even before this video, and you just want to do the strafe basic one, don't go for this. Don't waste your time on this, because even I play a lot of KZ and everything, and I'm quite decent at strafing. I have a lot of trouble with this one, because it's not only strafing, it's just getting the technique perfectly right, otherwise it's not going to work. But then again, if you have a lot of free time to practice, and you want to get this one right, and you want to be very good at it, you could try it. So what you want to do is you come up here, very simple. You don't have to go all the way over here, you just come here, because we're doing it this is why it's a little bit faster. But then again, the first step to doing this is basically two steps: strafing in the air and the B-hop part. So the B-hop part is pretty much the most difficult one, because oh, I even made it without strafing there almost. That's nice. But then again, as you see this corner, I have to B-hop perfectly from this corner, like here. And even then, again, I can go a little bit away from the corner, and it's going to be very, very tricky, because we basically have this perfect edge I have to jump on. If I go too much to this side, I'm going to be too far away. If I go too much to this side, I have to strafe too much to the right and gain too much distance before landing on there, which is not going to work either. So I have to perfectly time it to go basically right there, actually, in the air, to get on the corner, basically almost barely not touching it at all. So you just want to start practicing like so until you hit that sweet spot. A little bit further. There we go, until you hit the sweet spot. As you can see there, I didn't have to strafe because I perfectly timed it with this area here. But then again, sometimes it's just not gonna work for you. What you need to do is strafe, is jump up here and strafe to the right, like so, and then back to the left. So why back a little bit more to the right than necessary is so we can slam ourselves against here without having to worry about sliding off. If we come like here and slide up there, we're kind of facing it in the wrong angle, making it more likely to slide off than if we were to kind of go like this against it. We're probably not sliding off that easily. So let me try it one more time. Like so. That was a little bit too much to the right. It was about, you want to go around, if you were like this, like 5 to 10 degrees to the right, and that should do it for you. And then again, as you see, sometimes the B-hop is going to fail. There's a lot of things why this is inconsistent. You have to get a perfect B-hop, because sometimes this does not work. You have to land it perfectly, you have to do a difficult strafe, and that's why I just want to sincerely just tell you guys not to try and do this one, because by the time, like, the 3 times, 5 times it takes after tons of practice, this one is just gonna work way quicker, and it's even gonna get you up there way faster. But if you have a lot of free time, like I said, and you can practice it so that you can do it 50%, 75% times consistently, then go ahead. But otherwise, I recommend you just go to the basic strafe version or to the same without strafing. But that's it for you today, guys. Hope you guys learned some bit and have fun sniping from silo. And that's it. Jake out.